story. Welcome to the Shroyer Road Podcast, where we look into the stories behind the songs.
Welcome to the Shroyer Road Podcast, the stories behind the songs. Today, I want to tell you the story behind a song that is especially personal to me. It's called Bring the Light Along. And although it is the title song for a new chapter of music for Shroyer Road, in many ways, this song didn't begin when I sat down to write it. It began much earlier. It began with questions. Questions about why certain things happen in our lives. Questions about people, about disappointment, about hurt, and about forgiveness, and eventually about what we choose to do with all of it. For a long time, I think I believed that understanding would come from finding the right answer, that somewhere, if you searched long enough, thought deeply enough, or looked far enough beyond yourself, you would finally discover the thing that made everything make sense. But sometimes that isn't how understanding comes. Sometimes it comes quietly, and sometimes the answer isn't something you find. It is something you decide to become.
You don't find grace on a mountain, far away from human hands.
That first line is where I want to begin. You don't find grace on a mountain. There's something very appealing about the idea of going somewhere far away from everything and everybody and somehow discovering all the answers to life. A mountain, a quiet place, somewhere untouched by all the complications of people. And solitude can be valuable, reflection can be valuable. But eventually, we have to come back down the mountain. We have to live with other people. And that is where grace actually becomes difficult and meaningful, because grace isn't really tested when no one is challenging us. Grace happens in relationships, in disagreements, in disappointments, in the way we speak to someone when we could easily wound them, in what we choose to do with the hurt we are carrying. That is why the lyric continues.
It lives in how we treat each other, right here where we stand.
That became one of the central ideas of the song, that the things we sometimes think of as great spiritual or moral are actually lived out in very ordinary moments. How we speak, whether we keep our word, whether we forgive, whether we make someone else's burden light. Those are choices that look small, but I've come to believe that they're not small at all. There are experiences in life that leave marks on us. Some are beautiful and others are not. And when someone hurts us, one of the hardest things to understand is that eventually we have to decide what we are going to carry forward from that experience. We may not have chosen what happened, but we do have some choice about what happens next. That doesn't mean pretending that something didn't hurt. It doesn't mean calling something right when it was wrong. And it certainly doesn't mean that boundaries aren't important. Forgiveness and wisdom are not opposites. But I think there is a moment when we have to ask ourselves, am I going to carry the wound forward, or am I going to carry something better forward? That thought found its way directly into this song.
In every promise kept, in every time we choose forgiveness over pain we could have held.
I really like that phrase, pain we could have held, because sometimes holding on to pain can feel justified, and maybe it is justified, but something can be justified and still become very heavy to carry. There comes a point where holding on to bitterness does not change what happened. It simply allows what happened to occupy space in our lives. And that realization became an important part of my journey. Not forgetting, not excusing, but deciding what deserves to travel with me into the next chapter. Another idea behind this song came from observing others, not famous people, not necessarily people who would ever think of themselves as extraordinary, just ordinary people who have a way of making the world around them better. There are people who walk into a room and somehow make other people feel seen. People who, without announcing it, have helped others. People who choose kindness when they could easily choose cruelty. People who don't need someone else to become smaller so they can feel larger. I think we underestimate those people. We live in a culture that notices loudness, it notices attention, it notices achievement. But some of the strongest people I have ever known were not interested in a spotlight, and that inspired another part of the song.
Some people shine without a spotlight, never asking for applause. They carry kindness into hard days and heal the hurt they cross.
I love the idea of shining without a spotlight because there is an enormous difference between being noticed and having an impact. Some of the most important things we may ever do may never be noticed by anyone. A conversation, an act of kindness, keeping a promise, choosing not to say something cruel, helping someone who's struggling, giving somebody another chance. There may never be applause for those things, but they matter. For much of our lives, we are taught to associate strength with power, winning, having the last word, never backing down. But I'm not sure that that is strength. Sometimes it takes very little strength to hurt someone. It takes much more strength to have the opportunity to hurt them and choose not to. That idea became this lyric.
They don't tear somebody down just to make themselves feel tall. They know the strongest hearts are gentle, and there's room enough for all.
The strongest hearts are gentle. That line really matters because gentleness is sometimes mistaken for weakness. I think the opposite is true. A person who has strength and still chooses compassion is exercising far more control than someone who simply reacts. And perhaps that is one of the lessons that takes the longest to learn. You do not become stronger by making someone else smaller. There really is room enough for us all. One of the themes running through the entire Bring the Light Along project is the idea that our lives are built in very small increments. We tend to remember the dramatic moments, the crossroads, the big decisions. Most of our life isn't made at the crossroads. It's made on ordinary Tuesdays and Monday mornings. Conversations no one else hears, choices nobody else sees, and those things accumulate.
Every little choice matters. Every small thing leaves a mark. We become the way we're living. We become the light we spark.
We become the way we're living. That may be one of the most important lines in this song because character isn't something we suddenly decide to have when a major moment arrives. It is something we practice every day. Our habits become our reactions become our character, and eventually the way we live becomes part of what we leave behind. And that brings me to the title, Bring the Light Along. Originally, the phrase might sound like encouragement. Be positive, be kind, bring some light into the world. And yes, it means that. But for me, it means something more. The phrase also became almost a conclusion. After everything we experience, after the people we meet, after disappointment, after love, after mistakes, after forgiveness, after understanding, there is still one question. What are you going to carry forward? You can carry resentment. You can carry fear. You can carry every wrong anyone ever did to you. Or you can acknowledge all of those things, but decide that it will not determine what you give to the next person you meet. That is what Bring the Light Along means to me.
Bring the light along. Bring the light along. In the way you live, in the way you love. Bring the light along. Bring the light along. Lift somebody up when the road gets rough.
Notice the song doesn't say find the light, it says bring the light. That distinction became very important because it means that we have responsibility for what enters a room with us, what enters a relationship with us, what enters a conversation with us. We cannot control everything around us, but we can decide what we contribute to it. There is another little phrase in the chorus that summarizes the whole idea.
Piece by piece, heart by heart. That's how brighter days are born.
Not all at once, not because one person somehow fixes everything, but piece by piece, heart by heart. That might sound idealistic, but almost every meaningful change in the world began with individual people choosing to behave differently, choosing courage, honesty, compassion, choosing not to repeat the hurt that was handed to them. And perhaps that is one of the most powerful choices any of us can make. What happened to me does not have to become what I give someone else. Bring the Light Along is more than the title of this song. It also became the idea that ties this new collection of music together. These songs came from a period of deep reflection and looking back, understanding experiences differently than I did when I was living through them, recognizing what experiences, people, and moments taught me, and eventually reaching a place where the question wasn't simply, why did this happen? The better question became, what am I going to do with what I learned from it? That is a very different question because one keeps us looking backward, where the other allows us to move forward. And that is where this album really begins. Not with having all the answers, but with choosing what we carry into the next chapter. If you've listened to Shroyer Road before, you know that many of the songs are built around stories. Some are drawn from family history, some connect with frontier legacy books, some explore love, faith, perseverance, family, or the things people carry from one generation to another. Those stories still matter enormously. But Bring Their Light Along is very different. This one turns the lens inward. It asks, what happens when we take all those stories, our own story, our family story, the good parts and the difficult parts, and decide what deserves to continue? Because legacy isn't only what happened before us. Legacy is also what we choose to bring forward. In that sense, Bring the Light Along may actually connect to those earlier Shroyer Road songs more than it first appears. The setting is different, but the question is very similar. What do we carry forward? Before we finish today, I would like to leave you with something to think about. You don't have to change the whole world. You don't have to have a platform. You don't have to be extraordinary. There may simply be someone you encounter tomorrow who needs you to make one choice differently, to listen instead of dismiss, to encourage instead of criticize, to forgive instead of keeping score, to keep a promise, to open a door that bitterness would rather close. And maybe that is enough because every little choice matters. Every small thing leaves a mark. So, wherever your own road has taken you, whatever you've had to carry, and whatever you're still trying hard to understand, I hope you keep the things that made you wiser, and I hope you leave behind what makes the journey heavier. And wherever you go next, bring the light along. You've been listening to the stories behind the songs. If this episode meant something to you, I hope you'll listen to Bring the Light Along, now available wherever you listen to music. And if you'd like to hear more of the stories behind the songs, subscribe to Grove and Lantern on YouTube so you don't miss the next episode. Until next time, take care of each other and bring the light along.